guess, I always like to share what I share with the team. Before the game, what I expressed to them was, everybody being engaged for 40 minutes, both physically and mentally. And I thought we had a great 20 minutes of basketball in the first half. And everybody, the guys on the floor, the guys on the bench cheering. I like when the ref, tells our guys to sit down. And then in the second half, probably about, maybe somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes, I thought we still competed. And then I thought our pop was different in the sense of guarding the three-point line. Understanding that, some of these guys had range all the way out to NBA, and some shots was taken at the end of the clock when they had no option but to shoot. But I commend Coach Hudson and Fresno for staying poised throughout the game and not panicking. But I did compliment our guys on our work, and I told them I believe that Fresno, in my opinion, was the second best team in this league behind Nevada, just with their experience and their firepower and their will to want to defend. So I told our guys there was a lot to build on. Still some things we did in the sense of shooting ourselves in the foot, quick shots, turnovers, and then obviously not defending the three-point line. But the newer, younger guys, I told them, you guys are coming, and I know we want it to be a faster process, but they're taking steps. Thought JJ did a great job leading us tonight again. Actually has been pretty good for us the last 3 games. So we're working. We're working.
You mentioned the three-point line. It was 51 all game with about 9 minutes left, and you guys lose Williams a couple times. He hits 3 straight threes. It's just ignited that 14-0 run. Just seemed to kind of take the wind out of your sails. Is that the turning point in your mind?
Well, not only that, I think our pop was different, like you said, losing guys in the zone, but also not being patient enough on offense to where we came down and tried to do something quick a few times and then turned the ball over. I think we had 11 of them in the second half. So I thought it was a combination, but it kind of all happened in that segment as well. I thought we collapsed it quite a bit and got forced into rotating because we hurried out on the shooters to take away the 3, put it on the floor, sucked in, and then I want to say Blackwell hit one. The kid Williams got going. Even Taylor hit one deep. But again, I thought our energy was still good, even coming back to timeouts. Guys were saying, okay, guys, they just made their run. Let's just stay composed and stay with the game plan. But I just thought we kind of still got away from it and tried to do some things that, and this is what I tell our guys, I'm not saying that we're not capable of doing those things. I'm just saying I don't know if we need to do those things, especially early in the clock. Now, at some point, yes, you have to play with pace just because of the score to get back in it. But, just sticking to the game plan and just chipping away versus trying to come back in on a few big plays.
Does that show how small this team's margin for error is when you have a mental lapse and it just boom gets away like that?
It really is, and that's one thing I keep telling our guys, that our margin of error is slim. So that's why I'm always saying engage for 40 minutes, physically and mentally. And that's not to say that we're going to win the game because of it, but that's going to give us our best shot. So if one guy has a checkout moment, it affects our whole deal. But if we allow things like that to happen, it makes it tougher for us to put ourselves in a position to win the game.
Alan, is that your next big hurdle, to find ways to overcome some of those droughts and those empty possessions?
Yeah, and that was one of the things we did even after the Boise game was And we had our, meeting after the Boise game, and we talked, getting ready for these guys, was let's not panic when that happens. That's not the time to panic. That's the time to even show more composure. But as funny as me saying that, don't panic, I'm saying that to young guys. And it's not like I'm saying it to veteran guys. I'm saying that to guys that probably saying, and they're ready to go. But that's a process. And like I said, I think that's the second best team in the league right now. And I thought our guys came out with the right mentality, the right attitude. It just wasn't sustained for a long enough period to make it a game within that last 2 minutes.
And you go during that stretch where you're talking about them hitting the threes and that, but you go 5 minutes without field goal too in that stretch. And is that, you think, because you're trying to hurry stuff too much at that point to get back?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like don't panic right now. So that's when I thought. Not only did we score, we were turning the ball over too.
Right.
Because one of the things I like to say to our guys, if we're not going in directly to not in the post or not in Thompson in the post, then if we come off a ball screen, regardless of how they defend it, there's no reason to stop and throw it back to that same side. Because we're actually stopping our movement and our motion. So to get it over, get it back, and then get ready to attack. So we did that a few times, or we came off the ball screen and we tried to go play downhill and turn the ball over, or we just, like I tell them, we tried to make some high school passes to where it's, how do you say it, it looks nice or it's sweet or whatever it is, and I'm always saying it's simple basketball. Or sometimes they'll look at Knott or Thompson and they switch and the smaller guys on them, and now they're staring it down. And I said, well, if it takes more than a second and a half, then it's not open anymore. Because not only do you see it, now the other 4 guys for them see it. So get it back reverse and now maybe look high-low. And then if that's not there, get the ball reversed, get it off the ball screen, then look for the duck in. So that's the part of being patient still within what we're trying to do and not panicking. But like Doc Tucker would tell me, it takes 30 times, 30 plus times for something to sink in. So we just got to keep beating the points for our guys. But it's always hard to say, I felt like we took a step, tonight. I felt like we took a step. It's just we didn't sustain it for a long period of time. And, I told our guys, please don't put your heads down. It's a process, it's an effort. We just got to get back in. It'd be a good time for a bye as well. Get ready for Air Force.
Is there in your mind with the number of possessions that you're slowing it down to, is there a number of turnovers in your head you feel like you have to limit it to give yourself a chance?
I would love to be somewhere like 10, 11. Yeah. I think when you start getting 12 and up, that's a little bit too much. And then I thought one of the best points was made was, in the first half, it was 30 possessions a game. When we played San Jose, it was 27. The second half, we got up to 36. So again, it's still coming back to that pace to where we want to kind of stay in that 27 to 30 range rather than getting into the 36 and up. So, but yeah, I would say 10, 12, anything above 12 would be too many for us.
With the turnovers tonight, you were concerned about that going in with the way they pressed and everything, full court and half court. I didn't think the press really affected you. I thought it was more of the unforced. Would you agree?
Completely agree. I actually thought we handled their press pretty good. And, I didn't think we panicked in that situation. I thought we did a great job spacing for each other. I thought we did a great job in the sense of if they tried to run and jump, guys was ready to help each other out. I thought we, like you said, careless, or like I said earlier, the high school turnovers where we're trying to make the cute one or the difficult one. And it is sometimes I tell those guys, because they'll look at JJ, and JJ has turnovers too. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but Jay, sometimes I'm telling them, JJ's turnovers are a little different than the trying to squeeze it in there type play. I I'm not saying not all of his turnovers wasn't bad. I'm saying he had 5 himself. I probably thought 2 or 3 were bad. The other 2 I thought was